Good evening all. This is Victor Kilo 4, Golf Romeo Bravo, Gary in Faryiryland. It's just gone 19:30 hours and 24 seconds. I'm running a fraction late tonight. This is VK. It's Wednesday night. It's another. It's just gone 7:30 p.m. So it's another VK4BAD bad net for the Bunya Mountains and District Amateur Radio Club. This is Victor Kilo 4, Golf Romeo Bravo. I'll now change my my call sign to the club call for the Bunya Mountains and District Amateur Radio Club of VK4 Bravo Alpha Delta. This is Victor Kilo 4, Bravo Alpha Delta. Now listening for any call-ins, VK4BAD. Okay, nothing heard at the present time. Okay, I'll give you the WX. The WX out here at Faryiryland is 27.3 degrees. It's 61% humidity and 0 wind speed. This is Victor Kilo 4, Bravo Alpha Delta for the Bunya Mountains and District Amateur Radio Club. Now listening for any call-ins, VK4BAD. Okay, looks like it might be a quiet night tonight. What's on the idiot box? Unknown. VK4 Bravo Alpha Delta listening for any call-ins. Call in now, please. Okay, looks like it's going to be a quiet night. And it's going to be an awfully quick net if no one there pops up. But anyway, they might be doing something at the present time. Okay, anyway, this is Victor Kilo 4 Bravo Alpha Delta for the Bunya Mountains and District Amateur Radio Club. We hold this net every Wednesday night at 7:30 p.m, 19:30 hours, 09:30 UTC. This is Victor Kilo 4 Bravo Alpha Delta, listening for any call-ins, VK4BAD. Okay, no problems at all. I'll wait another few more minutes, and we'll see what happens. This is Victor Kilo 4, Bravo Alpha Delta for the Bunya Mountains and District Amateur Radio Club, holding the Wednesday night net. Does anyone want to call in? VK4BAD?
VK4, Mike Victor, late to the microphone.
VK4, Mike Victor, VK4 Bravo Alpha Delta. Looks like everybody's late to the microphone. You're the first one, top of the shelf. Good evening there, Al. Anyone else want to join the Bunya Mountains and District Amateur Radio Club's Wednesday night net? VK4BAD? Okay, must be a ripple effect from a couple of weeks ago. Okay, no problems. Before we start the first round, does anyone else want to join in? VK4BAD? Well, so far we've got VK4 Mike Victor. VK4BAD listening? Oh, okay, no problems at all. Let's see if we pick up anyone else on the next time around. VK4, Mike Victor, good evening there, Al. Looks like you're the only one around tonight. Everybody else is doing other bits and pieces there. Back over to you there, VK4 Mike Victor, VK4BAD.
VK4BAD, VK4 Mike Victor, the group. That's all right. People do have businesses other than radio. I was down at the shed actually. I went down a bit later in the evening and started mucking around with a rack, repeater rack and repeater and link combination, and I decided I'd make up some connectors. I was going to check the back paneling and make up the connectors to go from a DB25 to an RJ45 socket, and they will then have network type cables to the audio combiner, and so I had to grab some that I had and modify them to the right connection and repair one lead that had been cut. So I'd actually got myself the proper tool to be able to remove the pins and reposition them. The last time I tried that, I couldn't get the pins to come out, so I had to make myself a tiny little tool. I knew what they looked like. They're a not quite completely circular copper tube, and the proper tool is hardened, and it slides past the wire down, unlatches the key, and you can slide the pin out of the socket, the DB25 socket. And I actually made one that worked for 99% of the job I had, and then it failed. But I think I did pretty well to get anything that even remotely resembled the proper tool. So then I located the correct one and ordered it. It wasn't cheap, but now that I can do it much more reliably, it makes sense. So that was, what else did I do today? Tried to repair the light on the range hood over the gas stove. It goes on for a while and then goes off. So I stripped it out, cleaned it completely of all its grease, and ran on the bench for a while. And it was fine. And I thought, oh, this will be good. But no, put it all back in, and it's back to being the same. So I don't know what to do. So let's drop for a moment. Okay, I'm back. But anyway, it was an attempt to do that. I've been putting it off for 12 months. So at least it looks clean now, but it still doesn't work. So a couple other little tidying up jobs, and what else did I do? I delivered some chairs to the niece, and so what else did I do? I think I found some things I was looking for, and my new vehicle is on its way from Melbourne. It's at the transport depot, ready to be loaded and come up by road. It should be up here in 2 days. And if I hadn't rung them and asked where it was, it probably wouldn't have even been on the move, because it was booked to go within 30 minutes of the phone call, and 2 days after then, and now it's at the depot and it's on its way. So all the waiting for it is you've really got to ring up and prompt and remind people that things have got to be done, otherwise it doesn't get done. So I think almost every step of the way with this insurance claim has been wake them up, make sure they're on the job, and push things along. So anyway, that's what it is from my side. Dry around the yard and quite pleasant. So nice cool evening, so a bit more comfortable. A VK4BAD group, and the only Group E, VK4 Mike Victor.
VK4 Mike Victor, VK4 Bravo Alpha Delta. Before I continue on, is there anyone else want to join the Bunya Mountains and District Amateur Radio Club, VK4BAD?
VK4BAD, VK4FAX. Sorry I'm late there, fellas. Just watching the last of the cricket, and it was pretty exciting. Anyway, good evening to you there, Gary, and Alistair, I think it is, VK4FAX.
Okay, before I call Don in for his a little bit of an over, anyone else want to join the Bunya Mountains and District Amateur Radio Club's Wednesday night net? So far we've got VK4 Mike Victor and VK4FAX, VK4BAD listening.
VK4JRA.
Okay, we've got VK4JRA. Good evening there, Jake. VK4FAX. Have a go there, Don. I know you had a little go there right at the start, but have a go there, Don. And then you throw it over to Jake. And Jake, you throw it back to yours truly. VK4FAX, VK4BAD.
VK4BAD with the group VK4FAX. Good evening to you all, and Jake in the background there. Hope everything's going well with you. Had a pretty busy day today. Pretty humid as been of recent times. Had to do a hot woody unit this morning and was on the eastern side of the house, and in the northern sunlight was coming in there, and quite warm, and it was a very difficult job. would normally, if it's conventional hot water unit, knock it over in about 2.5 hours. Took me 4.5 hours. So anyway, I had to play bowls this afternoon in a competition, and by the way, we ended up coming home with the bacon. So yeah, that was a bit of a bonus. But big day, up at 5 this morning and on the job at 6:45 or something. Rush home and have a shower and go to bowls and get home, feed the dog and do all the rest of the stuff that needs to be done. The day just everything else doesn't stop because you go for a game of bowls in mid-afternoon. So I think I rocked up there in time to just start at 12 and then got home here at about 4:45 or something. Anyway, all good. Good to hear everyone, and I'll pass it up there to you there, Jake. VK4GRB, VK4FAX.
Yeah, thanks there, Don. VK4FAX. Pardon me. VK4GRA in the group. Got a little bit of a cough after dinner now. I don't know why. So, anyway, great to hear the few of us that are here. So, a quiet little net. Expected a couple more, but that's all good. I've been a bit slack myself. So, I'm not one. I can't talk. So, yeah. Anyway, good to hear you having some fun there, Don. Not sure what the other guys are up to. Sounds like Al was having fun fixing his light on the graduate. As for Gary, I'm not sure. I guess I'll hear it all before the next round. So, yeah, not a lot's been going on in my life. Everything's going pretty good. Touch wood. So, work's been keeping me very, very, very busy at the moment. So, lots of bench repairs, lots of infield repairs, and a fair bit of just infield stuff in general. So, towers, yeah, everything. So, haven't had a lot of time to really think about doing much else. So, the weekends are pretty well taken up at the moment. So, got a bit of travelling to do for work in my personal car. And, yeah, sort of been working on it, wheel bearings and new radiator hoses and coolant flushes and all sorts of stuff, valve clearances as well. Yeah, all that sort of stuff to bring it up to scratch for a couple of these pretty long trips that I've got to go on soon enough. So, anyway, that's about it from me. So, I'll put it back to you, Gary, and I'll stick around for the next round. VK4BAD. This is VK4GRA in the group.
And a word from our sponsor. This is VK4 Bravo Alpha Delta for the Bunya Mountains and District Amateur Radio Club. Does anyone else want to call in and say g'day? VK4BAD before we continue on. Okay, nothing else heard on that one. Oh, well, good evening there, Don, VK4FAX and VK4JRA, Jake. Good to hear you's in there. I thought for a little bit I thought I was on my lonesome there, but not a problem. The repeaters have been reasonably quiet. Couple of weeks back I asked a couple of gentlemen to talk gentlemanly like on the repeater, and I didn't tell them to get off it. I just told them to talk gentlemanly like, and I think the ripple has gone through to about 3 or 4 of them there. So if I razzled some feathers, well, I do it for a reason. But yeah, there's been a couple there which has been. I didn't tell them to get off or anything like that, and I just asked them to talk in a gentlemanly manner. But I think I might have hit a raw nerve with a couple of people. But anyway, I won't carry on with that lot. But yeah, the repeaters have been reasonably quiet. Not much happening on them. But other than that, I've been mainly just working on my vehicle. I'm waiting on more parts to come. I've got to change an exhaust manifold on the vehicle, and I forgot to order turbo gaskets, so I'm standby. So I'm waiting on turbo gaskets for them to come before I can start work on it. I expect them in Friday's post. The vehicle is usable. It is lacking a bit of power, but I hope to have that all fixed within the next couple of weeks. Okay. Okay, on your vehicle is coming up from Melbourne there, Al. So it'll be good you have a set of wheels again. And yes, they seem to wait a while, don't they? What was it? It was I think it was about 2 months from when I ordered mine to the time I got it. But yeah, they're never in a hurry. Okay. Before we start the last round, does anyone else want to call in? VK4BAD listening? Okay. Well, it's not a bad little group. It's around about the average. We're missing, as I said, we're missing a couple. But you know, and we've gained one. It's been a while since you've been in here, Jake. I'm just having a look back. The 10th of the 1st. Yeah, that was the last time you were on. Was the 10th of the 1st. So one of those ones. I've got no update on the repeater, so I assume it's all still going to schedule. I assume the link should be is still going to be there about by the end of March. We'll find out on the next over when Jake comes on. Okay, VK4, Mike Victor, VK4 BAD. Back to you there, Al.
VK4BAD, VK4 Mike Victor. Good evening, Don and Jake. All good to have a pad out the numbers a little bit, which is good. Yes, what was I saying earlier? Oh, yeah, it'd be nice to have my own car here rather than the lender. But anyway, I can track it. I can go onto a website and put in the number and it'll tell me where it is. So apparently it went from Camberwell in Melbourne over to Tregoney, and it's there until what's the day? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It then goes by road to end up at Pinkenbar, and then it seems to hang around there for a few days. So it'll be interesting to see just there how long it takes for them to sort it out. I believe it's got to be registered, and then makes it to here, and I'll be happy when I see it coming up the driveway. Interesting. When was it? Was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. A planned power outage that not too many people in the street knew about, but I knew about it, and so I decided I'd go away and do a few things out, a bit of shopping, and went and visited a nephew, and it's amazing. I came back and there was a couple of messages there, a couple of email messages stacked up, and a couple of notices on the phone. NBN couldn't work out why the people weren't getting their internet service in this area, and it could have been something to do with the power, but obviously nobody had told them either. So it is amazing how communications can be so simply gone astray. So yeah, I was like working in the sun. I like to stay away from it if I can. I went round to the sister's place and mowed the lawn, and she wanted to wash the windows on the house, and so she was going to have to work on the shady side and then chase it around to follow the shade while she did the rest of it. And I got stuck into the whippersnippering and mowing, and made sure she didn't fall off the ladder. So that was my job for the day, and came back and did a bit here myself. But by the end of that, I was pretty well at it. I came in and decided to have a cool drink and put my feet up. So, yeah, good to see you're still busy, Jake. It's good. And, yeah, you've got to keep the vehicle going. No good breaking down on the way. And, yeah, reliability is the thing for work vehicles. We had a few dodgy ones when I was an apprentice, and I remember we threw a big piece of tread off one of the back tyres on one of the vans out in the middle of nowhere, and found out we didn't have a spare tyre. So it was the very early days of NR radio, and we called back to base and said, oh, we haven't got a jack or a spare. So they said, oh, well, we'll send somebody from close handy and they'll give you a hand to sort it out. But we worked out that if we drove fast enough, it went over the lumpy bit of the tyre, and we just about made it home without having to change it. So if you went slow, it went lump, 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 and if you went faster, it glided over that bit, and you didn't even know it was gone. So I don't know how dangerous it was. It might have ended up completely shredding the tyre. But anyway, that's the way we did things in those days. So, okay, round to you, Don. VK4AFX for the group, VK4MV.
Sorry about that. Just heard a sponsor come in. VK4MV with the group VK4FX. He's just reading a joke here about Paddy running into the pub and shouts to Mick, somebody stole your car. And Mick says, did you see who did it? Paddy says, no, but I got the registration number. So we're pretty right there. I'll just break for a sec. catastrophe when they found it, you know. And they found it, and Pat said, "Is this yours, Mick?" And he said, "No." He said, "That's not mine. Mine had a pencil behind it." Another one of those bad dad jokes, but anyway. All good to hear you there, Jake. They probably went straight over your head. Us old fellas have all these dad jokes that you know, the grandchildren seem to quiz you about them. But anyway, all good. Thanks, Gary, for running the show this evening, and it was a good night last night. And thanks for the encouragement as well. VK4GRB with the group VK4BAD.
Yeah, VK4FAX, VK4GRB returning. Thanks again there, Don. So, yeah, I get most of those jokes, but yeah, there's still a few that are probably a bit old for me, so that I don't quite get. So, anyway, all good. I can't think of any off the top of my head, so it's been a long day and it's only been 11 weeks. So, yeah, anyway, not too much more going on. Yeah, you got to keep the cars going, so I'm not lucky enough to get a company car yet. I haven't climbed that high up the food chain yet. Either that or I haven't sucked up enough to them. I don't know what it is, probably a combination of both. So, anyway, they pay quite nicely for the use of a private motor vehicle. So, they offered to fly me up to one of the other branches up at Gladstone. But I'd have to drive all the way to Brisbane and then leave my ute in the airport parking at Brisbane to be flown up there, only to have someone have to pick me up and drop me off and run me around all the time. So I just said, well, by the time you pay me to drive down there, pay for my flights, pay for my airport parking, by the time the company pays for all that, I might as well just get in the car and drive up there myself. So, yeah, going to do that. Probably towards the end of March, and then start of March, or start of next month, I've got to go down to Brisbane for a week. So, yeah, going to work on a big project down there for the Queen's Wharf. So, it's a fairly comprehensive radio system going in there for their private in-house comms, as well as all the government's wireless stuff as well. So, if stuff starts to go down inside, all the emergency services can go in and still have full coverage throughout the building without black spots. So, yeah, it's a fairly comprehensive system. I have a lot of storage, splitters and amplifiers and all sorts of fun stuff. So, yeah, a little bit of an update with the repeaters. Not a lot's happening. I'll just break for a tick. VK4GRB returning. So, yeah, with repeaters and expanding into this new site, the antenna for the new site, which is the same as this one we're currently using, an RFI coal-free vertical collinear, 3 dBd of gain, it should turn up this week. So, with me being quite busy at work, I've sort of scheduled in around the middle of March to go and install the link antenna at this site on the bunyas that we're using now, and to go and install the antennas over at the new site near Mergen as well. And so after that, hopefully the repeaters won't be far off being finished off. So we have the repeaters and all the setup for the new site, and we have the controller for this one here that we're going to be using, and I've fully programmed it up, ready to go. So we just have to get the repeaters now, put them together and program them, and then get a couple of test sets lined up and test the audio levels through the repeaters themselves and through the links as well, just to make sure it's all going to work, and we can go to site and put it all in one go, do one after the other, hopefully, maybe on a weekend, and the antennas would have already been done earlier. So, yeah, I'll have to catch up with a couple of people and try and push these repeaters along a little bit. So, anyway, that's sort of where it's at. So, yeah, when we put the antennas up, we'll definitely let everyone know. We'll take plenty of photos and we'll share them around as well, so everyone can see what the new antennas look like, and we'll keep everyone posted as the rest of it progresses, but we're sort of hoping by the end of March we can have the antennas up and hopefully the repeaters done and in. So that's really about it. So it's a bit uncertain at the moment, but he is hoping. So all right, thanks for running the net, Gary, and great to hear Al and Don as well. So back to you, Gary. VK4BAD, VK4GRA.
VK4GRA, VK4BAD. Before we close the net off for another week, does anyone else want to call in, say hello, goodbye before we close the net down? VK4BAD. Okay, nothing else heard at the moment there. No, Dolby, VK4 FAX Don in Drayton, and VK4 JRA Jake in Dolby as well. Not a problem there. Nice to hear yous all in there, and we'll catch yous all again next week when we put another edition of VK4BAD BadNet for the Bunya Mountains and District Amateur Radio Club. This is Victor Kilo 4 Bravo Alpha Delta. I'll now resort back to my home call of VK4 Golf Romeo Bravo Gary in Faryiryland, and I'll leave the frequency open for general traffic. Thanks again there, fellas, for coming up on tonight's net, and without you guys we don't have one. Hi. Okay, this is Victor Kilo 4 Golf Romeo Bravo. 7-3, take care of yourselves, and we'll catch you the same time next week. That's at 19:30 hours, 7:30 PM, and 09:30 UTC. VK4GRB, out.